Alright, welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time coming across this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the post notification so you don't miss any amazing video from us / educational videos. Okay, welcome back to another weekly market recap for this week, where we share our setups, our trade analysis and ideas, how they played out, and whether it was a profit or a loss. So stay tuned, keep watching. So the first pair we'll be looking at this week is our USD JPY. And as you all know, USD JPY is one of my favorite pairs, followed by GBP JPY. Love the JPY pair so much. So now let's look at our outlook for the week. Okay, so here we are on USD JPY 1 hour time frame. It was a very simple and clean setup. So nothing much to explain here. Just watch and stay true. So now we had this other block as marked low here, like our major target we were looking at for price. So at this point, we had this change of character here, followed by what? The break of structure, the upside. We had another break here. Had another what? The upside again, which tells us that what it was bleached to the upside. And now this was the last low to the final word. Of course, what was I expecting? I was expecting, because at this point you see we have this other block here. I saw this as an indictment, a clean other block at this point, clean other block here, clean other block at this point, and if you see, market tapped into that other block nicely. All of this was considered as a liquid. Watch the first video get to understand what the concept better. A liquid what them out before popping to the downside. So now let's take this off. Let's see what was behind the trade with this week. So at this point, we had this change of character, then we had this break of structure. At this point, so take this out. Get to see. Okay, so this is naked chart. What I had. This was my change of character. Change of character on then here was my what break of structure, the downside, confirming that what market is bearish to the downside, and that's what we want to see. But after having this break of structure to the downside, see you still see we had another what sweep to downside again. So what was I now looking at for? Zoom out on charts properly. See, I had this liquidity, which I always want to see my chart at this point. This liquidity was resting here, and I had what this other block. It's my other block. First target. As you all know, I don't place my take profit at exact. So I place it before liquidity. Explaining my liquidity firstly. Why? Because what sometimes definitely see what price reversal before that your liquidity point. So that's I always place my take profit for that point. So now let's go on. Looking at this trade, I had my entry here. I had my entry here. 1:3 trade, yeah. Stop loss was like there about 40 pips. 40 pips. I like placing what? My partial above what? Or the protected low or high. I was targeting that was my 1:3 trade. And then market came into this zone, tapped us in, and price was what? Running. If you look at this point, you see that this trade at this point, trade was running already at what? Slow, yeah. The trade was running at what? 1:2. That was like a 1:2 trade. So that was already in the night. What did I do? I moved my SL to break even. My break even was just slightly above this candle, above this candle week, above this candle week. So while I was sleeping, before I woke up the next day, what happened? Price ran all the way to this high, swept this high, and because of what the spread at night, I was taking at top price what rode down to the downside. That was how I was taking at trade at break. You can see the screenshots here and is after of this particular trade. And after I was taken out, notice price went straight down. They can see how crazy sometimes market moves. So that's trade number one. So the next trade we took for the week was GPP JPY. It was also a sell. GPP JPY. I was looking at for sell on these two pairs for the week. All right. So here on the GBP JPY, you're on the 1 hour time frame. So if you look at the price action, this is the price action for last week trade. We are what? Bearish from last week. We are bearish on the GBP JPY. So after price took out this particular low, we had another what? Break of structure to downside. We had what? Our liquidity at this point. Then we had this nice other block this point. So that was how I got this particular trade idea. But price ran into zone and what? See, look closely. See, after price tapped into this other block, you see price crashed to what? To the downside. And what? I was already running in what? Profit. I wasn't active to actually adjust my stop loss to make it is exactly how the trade looks. So say a 1:3. So this was also a 1:3, and if you see the price was already what crashing down to the downside at this point. This was like almost 1:2, but wasn't available to actually move my stop loss to break even. And next thing I came back to was I was taking out retracement to the upside. So I had a stop loss. So that was how I actually lost on this particular setup. So if I was actually available to my stop loss to break even a week, stop no, because the trade I took previously last week, that was a NZD JPY that I took. That was on Friday. That actually would open my week to stop loss. So let's look at the third trade that we had this week. So for this week with three trades. All right. So this is NZDJPY after eating us out. I see the trade is running desired direction. So let's take out everything and get to see the trade idea behind this particular trade. Alright. So here we are on 1 hour. I'll be looking at most recent price action to actually explain the reason behind this particular trade. So if you look at this point, we had this nice order block here. We had this nice order block at that point. Now we had what? A break, the upside. Have another break here, the upside. This was our what? Usement. Also have what? All of this liquidity that was taken out by that particular point. You have this liquidity. Now, for the fact this liquidity was taken out, a lot of persons will consider this point as what their other block, where you also had what? A break of structure to the upside. But seeing that I had a zone, this was my what? Investment. Now, if you look at this price action, I have what? My nice momentum to the upside. I have the main origin, this break, the upside. There was what? Fair value gap, which I always use to pick my other blocks or to my point of interest. And extending this zone, I had replace my buy order. We actually see what trade looks like. So I had this this exactly how the trade was placed, 30 pips. Shall targeting what? The 1:3. For those that watched the last episode for last week, you see this particular trade was taken. So this was the trade, and see, we are taking out forward market continue in a desired direction. For this week, we had two stop loss, one break even, which cost us over a loss of minus $200 because of what and what swap fees that we paid. So feel free to share your trade for the week. Was it a good week for you, or was it a bad week? Let's know your experience for this week, and let us know the topic you want us to take for our coming week. So we'll get towards drop more educational and vital videos to help grow our communities and traders out there. Thank you for watching. Always what do well to come back, tune in, share, like, help this channel grow. Thank you for always supporting us. Thank you for always what standing by us. All right, see you in the next one. Bye.